Billy Halleck is an obese, upper-class attorney living in a suburb of Maine with his wife, Heidi, and their 14-year-old daughter, Linda. At a weight of 300 pounds, Billy constantly monitors his weight, with Heidi tracking his progress and planning healthy diets for him. However, Billy's overeating prevents any real impact from the diets, and Heidi's meal plans make him uncomfortable. Linda once asked about Billy's involvement in defending an underworld Italian mafia boss named Richie, and she mocked him for it. Billy won the case by securing a crucial murder witness, leading to Richie's acquittal in the homicide case. To thank Billy, Richie took him out for a meal, kissed him on the cheek, and told him that Billy could ask for anything from him in the future. As Billy returned to his office, winded from climbing the stairs, he passed by a group of gypsies performing on the street. At the law firm, colleagues congratulated Billy on his success. The prosecutor, showing Billy the gypsy women outside the window, suggested that Billy attend the victory party that night. On the street, Billy thanked Judge Carey for his support in the case. Judge Carey ordered security to remove the gypsies from the area. Meanwhile, Gina Lemke flirted with Billy before insulting him. At the congratulatory party, Heidi tried to stop Billy from overindulging in food. Afterward, in their car, they argued about Billy's constant overeating. To calm him down, Heidi performed an intimate act in the car while Billy drove. On the way, Gina Lemke and her wife visited the pharmacy for cold medicine. Distracted by Heidi, Billy accidentally hit the gypsy woman with his car, killing her instantly. The next morning, Linda asked Billy why he had returned so soon from the trial. Billy explained that he had been at the car investigation, not the trial. Linda inquired about the accident, and Heidi reassured her that nothing would happen to Billy, as he had done nothing wrong, leaving Linda confused. In the courtroom, during Billy's murder trial, Judge Carey, who was also a close friend of Billy's, explained that the gypsy woman had been running after stealing something when she suddenly appeared in front of Billy's car. Chief Duncan confirmed that Billy was driving at a normal speed and had not been intoxicated, as a breathalyzer test, though not actually used, confirmed his sobriety. Billy was acquitted, but deep down, he was guilty. Billy and Heidi emerged from the courtroom relieved. As they prepared to leave, an old gypsy warlock, Tadzu Lemke, the father of the deceased woman, approached Billy, touched his face, and whispered, "Thinner," before walking away. At home, Billy stepped on the scale and was thrilled to see that he had lost 14 pounds, dropping from 300 to 283. Heidi, surprised at the weight loss in just a week, congratulated him, but also suggested that his guilt might be the reason behind it. Billy dismissed this, claiming he had found a more effective diet than Heidi's. Dr. Mike, along with Billy and the corrupt Judge Carey Rossington, played a round of golf. In the locker room, Judge Carey revealed a strange wound on his chest. Dr. Mike diagnosed it as psoriasis, likely due to work stress. While checking Billy's weight, Dr. Mike noted that Billy had lost 2 more pounds since the morning. In the shower, Judge Carey mentioned that the gypsy man had approached him at the restaurant, touching his chest and whispering, "Lizard." Billy asked if Carey had noticed anything unusual when the gypsy man touched him, to which Carey replied that he hadn't, as he didn't want the old man's filthy hands on him. Billy suddenly realized the significance of the touch and remembered the word, "thinner." Heidi became increasingly concerned as Billy lost a total of 40 pounds in just 2 weeks. She feared it could be cancer. Billy grew angry at Heidi, accusing her of never being happy for his weight loss. Heidi insisted that Dr. Mike had recommended Billy get tested, and Billy reluctantly agreed for Linda's sake. Dr. Mike confirmed that Billy's test results were fine and that he was in better health than even Dr. Mike himself. Billy questioned him, asking if he was certain, especially given his rapid weight loss. Dr. Mike reassured him to relax. Billy then visited his tailor, who was also overweight, and was astonished at Billy's transformation. The tailor marveled at how Billy's waist had shrunk, something no diet had ever managed to do. At home, Billy continued to eat excessively, attempting to balance his sudden weight loss. Linda, concerned, asked if he was going through men's menopause, which she thought didn't exist. Worried about her father, Linda ran upstairs to check on him. Billy argued with Heidi, blaming her for his situation. Heidi told Billy that she and Linda would visit somewhere else because Linda was upset by his behavior. As Billy continued overeating, he met with Dr. Mike again, who recommended another clinic for a more thorough checkup. Billy also pointed out that he had seen Judge Carey's wife dining alone and asked if they had fought. Dr. Mike casually mentioned that Judge Carey was out of town visiting a sister who had been in a car accident. Billy knew that Carey had no siblings. Billy visited Judge Carey's house and asked his wife if Carey had lost weight, just like Billy had lost 100 pounds. Carrie's wife then asked Billy if the gypsy had touched him anywhere, to which Billy admitted that he had been touched by the gypsy. She took Billy inside and told him that Judge Carrie was under a gypsy curse and was slowly turning into a lizard because Lemke had whispered "lizard" while touching Carrie's chest. She blamed Billy for the curse, claiming that it was his fault for killing the gypsy woman. However, Billy didn't believe in the curse and left, with Carrie's wife screaming that Billy would believe it when he lost even more weight. Billy called Richie and asked if he believed in gypsy curses. Richie, after consulting his mother, told Billy that if a gypsy cursed someone, only that gypsy could lift the curse. Heidi questioned Billy about Carrie, and Billy explained that Carrie had skin cancer because of the curse, but Heidi didn't believe him. She said if curses existed, they would affect the whole town, not just Carrie and Billy. Billy then realized that he, Carrie, and Duncan had killed the gypsy woman. While driving, Heidi urged Billy to get checked, and as they were almost in a car accident, they barely survived. Billy went for a checkup at Glassman Clinic, where the doctors were shocked by how much weight he had lost in such a short time. Though they couldn't find anything wrong with him. Billy visited Chief Duncan and was stunned to see Duncan's face covered in strange pimples. Duncan blamed Billy for the curse and accused him of lying. Billy assured Duncan that he wasn't the criminal and was only drunk when it happened. Duncan insisted that Billy take a gun to kill the old gypsy, but Billy refused. Outside, Billy heard a gunshot and realized that Duncan had committed suicide. Billy saw Dr. Mike coming from his house and began suspecting that Mike and Heidi were having an affair. He told Heidi that doctors couldn't help him and shared that Duncan had offered him a gun to kill the gypsy, but he had refused. Heidi was relieved to hear that Billy had made the right decision. Billy then ranted about the curse, but Heidi refused to acknowledge it, making Billy angry. He told her that he was dying slowly, losing weight without changing his diet or exercising. At Duncan's funeral, Billy told Mike that if he didn't believe him, he should look at Carrie, and Mike replied that Carrie was receiving treatment for skin cancer. Billy left, determined to find the gypsies, and overheard Heidi and Mike talking. He discovered that Lemke, the gypsy, was the father of the woman he had killed. Billy tracked the gypsies to a carnival in Connecticut. Mike tried to convince Heidi to sign an application stating that Billy had a mental breakdown, and Billy overheard their conversation. He left the house to find the gypsies, and at the carnival, he saw Gina, the gypsy's granddaughter, performing. Tadzu, Lemke, and Gina reminded Billy that he would soon die from the curse, losing weight every second. Gina threw a small statue that showed Billy's future, and he began to run, but his legs couldn't keep up. Meanwhile, Carrie, who had turned into a half-human, half-lizard creature, came to rescue Billy in a car. Billy was terrified but climbed into the car. Tadzu, Lemke hit their car, and Billy screamed before suddenly waking up in his bed. Billy found himself much smaller and weaker. He called to check on Carrie, and Carrie's wife told him that Carrie had committed suicide by crashing his car into a truck. Billy then called his house, and Linda told him Heidi was in the kitchen. Heidi tried to talk to Billy, but he hung up, angry and unwilling to speak to her. Billy later learned that Gina and Tadzu had refused to forgive him for killing their mother, and when he begged for forgiveness, Gina shot him in the hand. Billy, bleeding heavily in a hotel, called Richie for help. Richie sent someone to treat Billy, and when he arrived, he was shocked at Billy's condition. Richie believed in the curse and devised a plan to help Billy. He poisoned some food near the gypsy camp and left a note saying it was a curse from a white man. Richie also hired someone to attack the gypsies, destroying their weapons. The gypsies killed that man, and the next day Richie and Billy found him dead in his car. Richie shot at the gypsies' campsite, killing Gina's husband. Richie pretended to be an FBI agent and showed the gypsies a picture of Billy, claiming he might have hired someone to orchestrate the attacks. He told Gina to follow him to identify the man. She agreed, and Richie led her to an abandoned barn, where he assaulted her with a jar of acid, demanding that Lemke lift the curse. Billy arrived and stopped Richie from killing her, and Richie threatened Gina to deliver a message to Lemke to meet Billy. Richie brought a dying Billy to meet Lemke. Seeing Billy's fragile state, Lemke handed him a pie and told him to feed it to an unsuspecting person to lift the curse. Lemke also suggested that Billy eat the pie himself to end the curse, even offering him the option of suicide. But Billy refused. Billy returned home and left the pie in the kitchen, hoping Heidi would eat it. The next day, he found Heidi dead in his bed. Relieved to be free from the curse, he became concerned when he saw Linda had eaten some of the pie for breakfast. He feared she would die at any moment and felt guilty for what he had done. As he pondered Lemke's offer, he heard a knock at the door. It was Dr. Mike, whom Billy knew had been having an affair with Heidi. Billy invited Mike in for a piece of pie, then closed the door with a smirk on his face. but I opened the door to a new and nice movie recap. You just have to click my recommendations on the right next. Subscribe to enjoy horror movie recaps like these in the future too. As always, grab your popcorn, enjoy yourself, and see you soon, my friend.